COVID restrictions officially lifted, Manhattan, New York plays host to the New York Auto Show at the city's famous Javits Center. It's the next major stop for this auto show season, where automakers from around the world gather to show their newest products to thousands of automotive press on hand to document their debut. Over the next hour, we'll show you the new cars, trucks, SUVs, and concepts making news here in New York. So whether you're into cars or just curious what will be rolling down tomorrow's roads, sit back, buckle up, and hang on, as Fox Sports takes you on a ride around the New York Auto Show like you've never seen. The New York Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by TrueCar, car buying shaped to your life, and Travelers Insurance. It's better under the umbrella. Welcome to the New York Auto Show. Hello everybody, I'm Dietrich. Well, it's been 3 years since the last New York Auto Show. In fact, 2 years ago, this was a makeshift hospital for COVID patients. And last year, the New York Auto Show was canceled not once, but twice. The good news is the COVID soap opera saga seems to be behind us. And in fact, the New York Auto Show becomes the first major auto show event without COVID restrictions. No masks, no mandates. And that's perfect timing for the expected 1 million car shoppers, enthusiasts, and families from all over the Northeast that are expected to come through the show here. And we have our Fox Sports Auto Show team, Nick Miles and Mike Caudill, here to show you all the new metal and give you some perspective from the latest electrics to conventionally powered cars. But first, let's start off with off-road performance. Ford's got a hit on their hands with the new Bronco. Well, they've added 2 new models to the herd. And guess what? They can buck.
All right, guys, I've made my way over to the Ford booth, and as we all know, one of the hottest selling vehicles for Ford over the past year has been the new Bronco. Well, guess what? I was in Detroit earlier this year, and I had a chance to look at this. Now, we all know the Raptor name. It's associated with the F-150 truck, but this time they've added it to the Bronco. Now, sales are through the roof with the Ford Bronco, so why bring a hopped-up version? Because consumers are asking for it. Let's start with exterior design. You're gonna see wider fender flares, and it will only come offered in the 37-inch BFG tire and wheel package. So if you're out off-roading, you're gonna be able to get over and traverse those big boulders and rocks. If you make your way down the side, you're gonna see these floorboards to step inside the vehicle, making it easy access. As we come down, you're gonna see it rides higher. That's because they've enhanced the Fox suspension.
Bronco Raptor is just a great addition to the Bronco family because it's all about taking our built wild DNA to the extreme. It's not just made for desert racing, also Baja rock crawling.
And truth be told, guys, I have both a 2021 Ford Bronco First Edition and I have a 2017 Ford Raptor. So the very first thing on the inside that I look for being a Raptor fan is actually the steering wheel. You have this really cool seam that rolls right across the front of the steering wheel. You're gonna see incredible leather stitching and a big Bronco logo on the right side. The current baseline Ford Bronco has 2 different power plant options. You have a 2.3 liter and a 2.7 liter. So what did they up the game with under the hood of the Bronco Raptor? You're gonna be looking at a 3 liter twin turbocharged engine pumping out about 400 horsepower. As we make our way around here to the back, they actually bolstered the tire mounting system on the rear because when you're off-roading, going at high speed, you're gonna want to be able to make sure that your tires are fully locked down. And while we're here, we're gonna talk about the wheel for a second. These are actual beadlock wheels, which means it's paired on the inside and the outside of the tire so that they don't come off if you lose tire pressure while out there on the road. Starting price for the Ford Bronco Raptor, right around $68,000.
So what's it like when you have Hollywood meets Nashville? Well, that's what Wagoneer is, and for this year they have increased the length of the Wagoneer with an L, and this is the 3rd luxury brand in America next to Cadillac and Lincoln. So let's sit in the back and find out what this new bigger trunk is like.
We added extra length because our customers asked us to. There are customers that actually need more space than our Wagoneer, and the nicest thing is it still tows 10,000 pounds, even though it's a little bit longer. This has best-in-class rear behind the rear seat, so if you have the need to put 7 or 8 passengers in this thing, you can do it. And then look, the second row has got over 3 feet of legroom, and of course it's a Wagoneer, so it comes with all the tech you can imagine. You can see the Fire TV back there, so fire up Amazon Prime, go to it, watch your favorite program, and then the other side of the Wagoneer can be playing a game.
All right, well, this is the brand new L version of the Wagoneer, and of course there is a Grand Wagoneer, and how much bigger can it be? This much bigger. Over at Lexus, there's a brand new LX 600. Now it comes in 3 different trim levels, a luxury, an ultra luxury, and for the first time, an F Sport version that has these massive 22-inch wheels, but they are not as big as this huge grille, and I challenge you to find a grille that is as sexy as this on any vehicle at New York International Auto Show. Now it comes in a 4, a 5, and a 7-seater, and behind that grille, there is the V6 twin-turbo engine. Now let's jump over to take a look at the 7-seater luxury version. The luxury grille, very different from the F Sport, and on the inside of the luxury you will find 3 screens, one for the gauge cluster, one for infotainment, and one for the off-roading information, including the fact that you can actually have 4 different camera angles, even a camera angle that shows you what's going under the vehicle.
Coming up, Chevy shocks the world with their all-new full-size truck. Alfa Romeo debuts an all-new plug-in SUV, and we'll show you the fastest cars here at the show. It's all coming to you as Fox Sports brings you the New York Auto Show, presented by TrueCar and Travelers Insurance. Please stay with us. The New York Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by TrueCar, carbine shaped to your life, and Travelers Insurance. It's better under the umbrella. Welcome back. Well, according to Capital One Research, 2 out of 5 new car buyers are looking for a battery-powered vehicle. Will that hold true for trucks? And will that hold true for this truck? This is the all-new Silverado EV from Chevrolet, and here to tell us more about it is Josh Tavel. Josh, you got a new EV full-size truck. Tell me about it.
We do. It's built from the ground up off our Ultium platform, and what's really awesome about this truck is it can do over 400 miles of EV range and have 350 kilowatt charging, which basically means you're going to get 100 miles in 10 minutes. And to do that on the Ultium platform, we're able to build effectively the entire vehicle around the battery. And what that does is it enables all kinds of unique storage solutions and utilitarian functions that we can do for the customer. And then we have what we call a midgate in the back, which basically means you can put half of the back down or the entire back section down in your 5'11" bed and make it extend out to 10 feet 10 inches.
And it's fast too, right? 0 to 60.
664 horsepower, 780 foot-pounds of torque, and it does 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. We actually have variants that can tow up to 20,000 pounds. Truck customers aren't going to make that switch unless you take away any excuse and you just simply make it a better vehicle.
Let's talk about technology inside the car.
We've got a 14-inch heads-up display that'll show the driver. We've got an 11-inch cluster and a 17-inch center stacker, kind of like the radio screen. But we stayed with our truck customer in terms of we kept all of the knobs and all of the utility functions that a truck customer wants.
Thanks, Josh. Well, there you have it, the new Silverado EV. I know there's a lot of people waiting to get a hold of this one.
So if you know the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, you'll know that it was named after a mountain pass in Italy, and this is its younger brother, the Tonale. And the Tonale is a new, smaller Alfa Romeo going up against things like the BMW X1 and the Mercedes-Benz GLA. This will come as a volume car in a plug-in hybrid doing just over 30 miles on a single charge of electricity before it turns over to the gasoline engine.
Tonale for us represents the first electrified Alfa Romeo that's ever been on a platform. We've gone to a wider track, we've gone to brake-by-wire, we've taken weight reduction out of it. We've really brought it up to Alfa standards from the standpoint of dynamic performance. We've made the decision to go full battery electric starting in 2025. And actually by 2028, we will no longer sell internal combustion engines anywhere in the world.
Now this vehicle actually looks very much like an Alfa Romeo with the front grille that you expect to see in all Alfa Romeos, but I will also tell you this is a European spec vehicle. We don't actually know the specs for the American vehicles, which we should find out that and the price towards the end of this year. Over to the Subaru booth. They have a redesigned vehicle that fits perfectly with the outdoor life of the national parks. You have a brand new Outback, and this is probably one of your best-selling vehicles, the sort of SUV for the dog lover, the adventure lover.
This is the all-new 2023 Subaru Outback. It's been heavily revised for the 2023 model year with a lot new styling. If you can see, it's much more aggressive styling up front here, and it looks more SUV-like. And this model is the Onyx. And the Onyx comes with our StarTex interior, which is completely washable. We kind of follow what our owners do. They tend to like to go to the trailheads and to go biking and camping and all that kind of stuff. So we've mirrored what our owner base does with our auto show stands.
And sort of an update on electronics as well, you know, not just 2 cameras, but 3 cameras.
This does have a new and improved eyesight system, which is our dual camera system. And then on the Touring, we've actually added a 3rd wide angle lens that gives actually more view for pedestrians and dogs. And then of course, this will be the first vehicle we have with the wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay.
One of the most iconic vehicles for Nissan was the sport utility vehicle called the Xterra. Fast forward to 2023, you're now looking at the all-new Pathfinder, and they're calling this the Rock Creek Edition. So it's meant for getting off-road. What do you get? 7.7 inches of ground clearance. 4-wheel drive will only be offered. And I love this tubular roof rack up on top. If you want to put a tent up there, get out off-roading and go camping, you can do it with this vehicle right here. And the first thing on the interior that sticks out to me, of course, are the stitched seats that say Rock Creek on them. Now, what's important about these seats is that you have the ability to wipe off the seats, get them wet when you're out there on your off-road adventures. And of course, we can't talk about Nissan without Nissan Safety Shield 360, which will come standard on this Pathfinder Rock Creek version as well. And to get you to that off-road destination, Nissan has put more performance under the hood. What do you get? 295 horsepower to get you to that destination. And speaking of what's under the hood, let's check out the Leaf. And one of the most exciting vehicles to come to market for Nissan is this right here, the all-new 2023 Nissan Ariya, and it's 100% electric. Well, here's a really cool fact for you. This vehicle right here by Nissan is the Leaf, and it happens to be the most affordable electric vehicle that a consumer can buy in the marketplace.
We've made some changes based on how it looks, upgraded the brand identity of Nissan. It's illuminated like the Ariya. We made some changes to the front bumper. We've got brand new wheels, basically making it look nicer. And we just won 5th year in a row Kerry Blue Book Total Cost of Ownership Award.
So here's what's really unique about the Leaf. I am 6'3". The Leaf is a small, compact vehicle. Look at that leg room. And to close it out with the Nissan Leaf, it's truly about the price of this vehicle. You're going to be looking at $27,000 on the current version in the marketplace, the 2022. Well, this is the 2023 that comes to market later in the year. You're going to be looking at $28,000, but it qualifies for the federal tax rebate of $7,500, making the starting price of this vehicle right here with the rebate $20,500.
Up next, Toyota's got a new luxury truck, and Elvis is in the building. Well, at least his Lincoln is. It's the New York Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by TrueCar and Travelers Insurance. Please stay with us. The New York Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by TrueCar and Travelers Insurance. And welcome back. Well, it's not just about new cars here at the Auto Show. You never know what you'll find. Lincoln celebrating their 100th anniversary with this, the 1956 Lincoln Continental Mark II. And this one is a celebrity in its own right. It was owned by Elvis, and here to talk more about it is Ted Ryan from Lincoln.
What you have here today is a Continental Mark II that was owned by Elvis Presley. There's an origin story too. He was in Miami, and the fans discovered that he was there, and he had a current Lincoln, but they wrote all over his Lincoln with lipstick. and he couldn't drive it anymore, so he took it to the closest Lincoln dealership and purchased the Continental Mark II, which at the time was the most expensive car in the world. It cost almost $10,000.
It's hard to imagine that with a Rolls-Royce costing over $500,000 today, that Lincoln had the most expensive car at the time. You were telling me there's actually a very funny quote about this car.
Elvis Presley said life is too short to drive boring cars, and he didn't drive boring cars. This Lincoln Continental was one of his favorites. He actually drove it for almost 3 years, including to New Orleans where he was filming King Creole. And we actually have a copy of his script, the canceled check, and the shoes that he was wearing on display here at the stand as well.
There you have it, the Lincoln Continental Mark II 1956 edition, owned by Elvis.
As Lincoln celebrates 100 years with this special vehicle over my shoulder, the 56 Continental Mark II, the ultimate question I have is, what would Elvis drive if he were alive today? And I believe it would be this right here. The all-new Lincoln Navigator Central Park Edition, celebrating 25 years as one of America's most iconic luxury full-size SUVs. Lincoln is the embodiment of luxury, and as we make our way on the inside of the Navigator is this beautiful evergreen leather. The standout feature for me is actually this wood grain that's actually been etched with the map system from Central Park. Now that I've made my way over to the driver's cockpit area, the very first thing I noticed was how soft the seats are here in the Navigator. And it also happens to have a really cool massaging feature as well, which is perfect for long road trips. And a industry first, massaging seats in the second row as well. But I want to focus your attention to the steering wheel. There's actually a radar sensor here, and Lincoln calls it Active Glide. This is their level 2 autonomous driving feature, so you can take your foot off the accelerator pedal and the brake, hands off the steering wheel, and this sensor is actually going to track your eye movement to make sure that you're still somewhat focused on the road, but you will be able to take your hands off of the steering wheel. They've integrated Fire TV into the Navigator as well. You're gonna get that using a Wi-Fi feature. Starting price for the Lincoln Navigator Central Park Edition, right around $78,000, available in dealerships later this year.
Over at Toyota, on display is the new Sequoia. It took Toyota almost 15 years to renew this vehicle, and on display, the capstone version, the ultimate in American luxury. 3 rows, V6, 437 horsepower. This has an actual hybrid engine, and that means better fuel economy. The capstone version is luxury from beginning to end. Big bold grille, standard LED headlights and taillights. Going down the side, open the door, you'll notice that electronic step come out automatically. Panoramic sunroof, heads-up display. It also gives you things like wireless charging, room on the inside for every single passenger in every single row, plus all the accoutrements in every row, and luxury features like American walnut, soft touch dash, beautiful leather throughout all of the inside, and this beautiful SUV is arriving at dealerships now in multi-different trim levels, and of course, you gotta check out these wheels because Toyota tell us they are diamond cut. I've been checking, there's no pieces of diamond left in those wheels. I'm going home poor. Now, if a truck is more your flavor, check out this, the Toyota Tundra. It also comes with an iForce Max engine, and in the capstone version, notice this, the color keying around the outside of the grille. You'll also find on the inside a very beautiful interior with the 14-inch infotainment screen, as well as that beautiful open-air panoramic roof from front to back, 12 JBL speakers, as well as an AT&T Wi-Fi hotspot. This can haul, this can tow, and this is the truck that you can use for not only going out for the night, but doing all of your work stuff as well. And it has those 22-inch wheels.
Coming up, Mike takes hot laps in EVs, and Hyundai's got a new bun warmer with heated seats in the third row. It's all coming to you on Fox Sports at the New York Auto Show, presented by Travelers Insurance and TrueCar. Don't go anywhere. Fox Sports at the New York Auto Show, presented by Travelers Insurance. It's better under the umbrella. And TrueCar, carbine shaped to your life. Well, the New York Auto Show is all about introductions. Joining me now is Ola B.C. Boyle to talk about this behind me. It's the new Palisade. It's Hyundai's latest three-row SUV. Ola B.C., what do we got here?
We have the updated enhanced Palisade for 2023. It has got this prominent grille. We have changed all the lights. They're all LED. One of the things that we stressed is we wanted it to have that prominent, rugged stance expected of an American SUV. And so some of the changes that you see made the grille wider and more bold. We now have Digital Key 2.0 that works with your iPhone and your Samsung Galaxy. And we have on the inside the new display mirror that allows you to see past all the people in your car to see what's behind you for visibility. It has over-the-air updates, it has Wi-Fi, and everything that you now need in this family vehicle.
Let's talk about the interior, because the interior to me is very elegant.
We wanted to have that tough look, yet chic. And so we've got Napa leather on the seats, and we have lots of new interior trim that allow us to give it that sort of modern luxury furniture feel. When you want heated seats, you don't have them in the first row, and you have them in the second row, and you have them in the third row.
Heated seats in the third row?
In the third row.
Now wait a second. Are you telling me there was a study that said, oh, we need to put heated seats in the third row?
There are families, we talk to families. There are families that actually argue who's gonna sit back that don't have the heated seats. You're coming back from a ski trip, everyone's cold, and you wanna get in the vehicle. Now they don't have to worry about that as a choice. We made it in all three rows. That was some feedback we got, and it happened in this version of the Palisade.
When does it come out?
This is gonna come out, I'd say start of sales, July, summer time frame.
There you have it, the new Palisade from Hyundai.
Now, you may not be familiar with Vinfast, but I can assure you, you will become familiar with them. They are a Vietnamese car company that is already hugely famous in Vietnam, and they are coming to America, opening a new factory here. And so we thought we'd get the skinny on the company.
We want to deliver really qualitative product, but at a fast speed. This is really important for us.
Two new cars to start with, the VF 8 and 9.
The first one will be the VF8. So the 8 is this middle-size SUV, four-wheel drive with fantastic design. We use Pininfarina, which is this worldwide famous design company, to design the VF8. And I think when you have a look on it and all the feedback we have, people are amazed by the quality and by the design of the car.
Now, they're going to be electric only, the vehicles you bring to the US. Is there going to be any gas vehicles, or are you just sticking with electric only?
We have decided to move totally and 100% to the electro-mobility world. So it means that end of this year we will be only full electric cars, because we truly believe this is the future.
And how many vehicles do you think you're going to end up with in America? Because often, you know, car companies start with one and it takes them maybe 5 years to get number two. You're starting with two vehicles in 1 year. That's a lot.
Absolutely, and it's not enough. It's just the beginning. So you will have two this year and you will have again two next year.
If you thought the car companies were stagnant in the US, think again. New car company, new factory, and 4 new vehicles in the next 2 years. That's a lot happening over here at Vinfast.
We've made our way down to the basement here at Javits, and it has been turned into an EV mecca for this new year. Now, over my shoulder, guys, you're gonna see the first ever EV test track here at Javits, where consumers can come in and take a drive in an EV that might fit in their garage in the future. But the best part about being downstairs is it's all about e-mobility.
The most surprising thing along this journey is a lot of people think that this is just the commuter that's driving this market. What we're seeing is that this product is for the masses. We see moms, dads, children's, grandmas, grandpas, ages 12 to 65 riding these products.
And I think the best part about being down here in the basement at Javits is the fact that there's a little something for everyone. So whether you want to be on 2 wheels or 4 wheels, they give you everything here to make that next EV decision. For me, it's all about 4 wheels next. All right, guys, we've made our way over to the 4-wheel side of the e-mobility course, and this is the official EV test track. You can see over my shoulder here, guys. This is where consumers are getting a real good chance to check out some of the coolest new electric vehicles that are on the market. First time for you in an electric vehicle was when?
Earlier today, I was expecting it to have a lot of acceleration, and that's what happened. I was very impressed. It was the big truck.
What's great about this test track is it gives consumers a chance to take a ride in a variety of different electric vehicles. The cars themselves are incredible. They're fast, they're fun, and very easy to drive. But here's the best part. Right here at Javits in the basement, there are more than 7 different brands, like this Volkswagen ID4, and over my shoulder right there, one of the newest brands, Indy EV.
Well, it's time for some true facts with TrueCar. I'm joined by Mike Darrow. He's the president of TrueCar. Mike, you have a new study on electric cars, and I imagine there's a lot more interest in them with gas prices going through the roof, right?
We recently did a survey of 1,000 shoppers on our site. 57% of those folks said that gas prices was the #1 reason for considering an EV. And if you cut that information even more finely, folks who are in market for the next 6 months, that number goes up to 66%.
Okay, and I know that there's still some reluctance by some people, especially for those who haven't gotten into a car, right?
4 out of 5 of people who own an EV say that they would consider an EV for their next vehicle. About 66% who have driven an EV said they would buy it. That drops all the way down to 1 in 3 of folks who haven't experienced an EV in any way.
And the biggest concern is always range. How has that affected your study?
Really 2 big things came out in range. Number 1 was, do the folks have a place in their residence to plug in? Most folks who are considering EVs want to plug in at night. 68% of the folks who rejected EVs had nowhere to plug the vehicle in at home, so that's a big barrier. The second is range. Folks who want to take an EV on a trip have concerns about how far they could go. That seems to be leveling out about 300 or 400 miles is a sweet spot for range. So I think when the EVs get to that sort of level, we'll get over that hurdle.
Thanks, Mike. Well, there you have it, some true facts with TrueCar. Coming up, Chrysler's going all electric, and we step out of the show to see some new BMWs. You're watching Fox Sports at the New York Auto Show, presented by Travelers Insurance and TrueCar. Please stay with us. Fox Sports at the New York Auto Show, presented by Travelers Insurance and TrueCar. Now, one brand you may not have heard a lot from lately is Chrysler, but that's about to change because they're transforming the company. And part of that is the car behind me, and this person here is Chris Fuel. She's the CEO from Chrysler. You're moving to EVs.
Starting in 2025, we're launching brand new vehicles under the Chrysler brand that will be 100% BEV. This is our Chrysler Airflow Graphite concept. We designed this specifically for the New York Auto Show. This new product is 100% BEV, achieves up to 400 miles of range with fast charging capability, and also has all of the seamless connectivity that customers are expecting from Smart Cockpit. It helps connect the passengers and the drivers' personal digital lives with their mobile digital lives to level 3 autonomous driving as well.
Now, you're showing it now. This is now a couple of years ahead of time before a customer can buy it. Are you still measuring responses? Where are you at with the product?
We have been getting a lot of customer feedback over the past couple of months, and we have been getting overwhelmingly positive feedback about the new contemporary design themes that we are introducing with the Airflow, and also that tech-forward feature with battery electrification and the integrated connected technology to help improve the driving and the passenger experiences.
Chrysler's new direction, all EV guys.
The auto industry continues to evolve, and right now all the discussion is around electric vehicles. Well, not in the case here in the Toyota booth with this vehicle. This is the GR Corolla. GR stands for Gazoo Racing. This is their performance division. Under the hood, a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine that pushes out 300 horsepower. And just by looking at the exterior design of this vehicle, you can tell it's all about performance. Larger wheels and tires, lower to the ground, an aggressive front hood, a rear spoiler. And I really wanted to draw your attention to the roof line on this GR Corolla. Toyota's calling this carbon sheet molding, and you can tell from a texture standpoint and from a look standpoint, this is something totally different on a vehicle. And Toyota spared no expense on the interior of the GR Corolla as well. You're going to see double-stitch performance seats, so when you're out on the track, you're going to be hugged into your seat. If you're into racing, you've got the perforated pedals down here below that are made out of stainless steel, make it incredibly easy for your racing shoes to stick. But to not only me and my 15-year-old son, this could be one of the coolest features, a manual transmission.
We are in the Chelsea industrial area of Manhattan where BMW are unveiling their 7th generation of their 7th series, and it will come in 3 different variants at launch. A 760, a 740 and an i7. Now the i7 of course all electric. And when you look at the front of both the 760 and the 740, you'll notice the very chiseled look of the vehicle. The daytime running lights are laid together with Swarovski crystals. Now you can either slide your hand in, hit the button underneath and open the door in a traditional way, or push the button here and watch the door open automatically. Inside a full reclining seat, which has an ottoman that comes out, and inside the door panel, you actually have your very own tablet. This carbon fiber actually has silver thread laid out throughout it to give this reflective feeling. Plus all the latest infotainment and technical equipment that you could possibly want in this vehicle. Now this i7 does have the grille that has the light surround on it. This vehicle also has something in the back that you will absolutely be blown away at. In the back of the i7 you have an immersive theater experience with a 31-inch screen which folds down from the roof of the vehicle. And on this screen you can get 8K video, and that can stream Amazon Fire TV. I'm not sure why you would ever go to the movie theater again. You can actually get level 2+ in this vehicle when it comes to autonomy. Just another piece of that Sistine ceiling, beautiful artwork and technology to make the latest in a driver's car.
And another manufacturer not here at the show this year is Honda. They took to the internet to introduce their all-new HR-V, their smallest SUV. The all-new HR-V gets a new look. Based on the award-winning Civic, it's a little wider and longer to give it a more athletic stance. The HR-V might be Honda's smallest SUV, but Honda made sure to have plenty of room for the weekend adventurer. Honda also added some pep to its engine for better performance while still delivering outstanding mileage. Inside sources tell me the independent suspension is now tuned to give drivers a more nimble response, making the HR-V just plain fun to drive. Look for Honda's all-new HR-V out this summer. And Honda, we have a spot waiting for you right here next year. Up next, Corvette or Lamborghini, you decide. And we wrap up the show. It's the New York Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by Travelers Insurance and TrueCar. Easy now, put down that remote. Fox Sports at the New York Auto Show, presented by Travelers Insurance. It's better under the umbrella. And TrueCar, car buying shaped to your life. Well, welcome back to the New York Auto Show. As I said off the top, this show was canceled 2 years in a row, and the man who had to deal with that the most is right here, Mark Scheinberg.
It's incredible. I mean, it's 3 years. We've had to cancel it 4 times because the show is normally in April. So we had to cancel it 2020, and then we were going to say, we have a great idea. We're going to move the show to the summer in August on it. Manufacturers were excited by that, had to cancel that one.
Well, here we are. This is a great event. You have a new hull.
2 years of the Javits Center being closed down with the pandemic, there's one thing that you learned how to do is build a building. This has been a major expansion to Javits of over 1 million square feet.
And that gives us opportunities for EV tracks like this, right?
Now that every manufacturer has just amazing products on electric vehicles, we've been able to make that part of the main exhibit. Hyundai doing their electric vehicle, Ford's doing theirs on the main level. And in addition to that, we have another ride and drive on level 1 with multiple brands. It just shows you how this technology has matured and is ready for prime time.
Okay, now there are those out there that think auto shows are going away, that you don't need to come to a show to experience and buy a car. You can just go on Meta and do it that way.
Everybody that's saying that, I want to talk to them after Friday when we open to the public and we see the huge amount of people that come through the doors. Shows are enormously relevant. 72% of the people that come to an auto show are in the market for buying a car. 40-some-odd% of them add and subtract brands to their consideration list on it. So anybody who says that skipping the auto show is not a big deal just means that they're not getting a consumer that's ready to buy considering their product.
Okay, thanks, Mark. We appreciate your time. Well, there you have it, everything you want to know about the New York Auto Show.
When Chevy introduced the new Corvette a few years back, those that are pure enthusiasts, they asked for one thing quickly, and what was it? When does the Z06 come? Well, it is here at the New York Auto Show. Let's start with the very first thing that I noticed about this vehicle. It's actually its stance. So you're going to be looking at 3.6 inches wider wheel-to-wheel with this new Z06. You're also going to see a lot of carbon fiber trim accents on the exterior of this vehicle as well. But if you are into Corvettes, the first question you really want to know is what is under the hood. And of course, with the Corvette, it's not up front, it is back here. You're going to be looking at a 5.5-liter naturally aspirated V8 motor pushing out 670 horsepower with a 0 to 60 time, 2.6 seconds. And I've had a chance to drive the Corvette, and the interior is something that truly stands out with this vehicle. You have racing-inspired seats, and this red really, dare I say it, makes me think of a Ferrari. You're going to see a ton of carbon fiber on the inside, and that steering wheel right there, similar to an F1 wheel. So you have a couple different options with Chevy. This one right here has the hard top that is removable, but if you're interested in the convertible, it's this one right here over my shoulder. For the Stingray and Z06, they're going to give you 14 different color options for the vehicle, but to be honest, I had to stop here and look at these carbon fiber wheels that truly stand out with this vehicle right here. As you can see here on the back spoiler, also carbon fiber. Now, you're going to get 734 pounds of downforce with this Corvette. That's the most downforce ever produced in one of their vehicles. To crank out all that speed, you're going to be looking at an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, something they use as part of their race program. And although I know for me, guys, I'd love to have this parked in my garage right now, unfortunately, pricing not yet available. It'll go on sale later this year.
So I have this dilemma. I've been looking for a Lamborghini somewhere between the STO rear-wheel drive track car and the rear-wheel drive Evo, the everyday driver. It's been hard to find, until now that is. They came up with a Huracan Technica, the everyday driver plus the everyday track car, and its rear-wheel drive, including rear-wheel drive steering.
For us, always the emotional involvement of the driver. Color at the end of the day makes also the things interesting, a thing that gives the customer the possibility to express himself or herself. And this car is extremely fun to drive. So this is also one of our development purpose.
Now, one of the things that Lamborghini really wanted to do for the drivers of this vehicle is make them feel like they're a jet fighter sitting inside an aircraft. And they hit the nail on the head. Flip up the red housing to hit the start button. You'll also find the door handles are a red tag that you pull down to open the door switches. There's carbon fiber throughout. At the same time, your display looks very aircraft-like, and the paddles on each side of the steering wheel look like something you might find in a fighter plane. And the speeds are pretty close too, 0 to 62 miles an hour in just around 3 seconds.
In general, the Huracan Technica is the biggest design update we have ever done on the Huracan range. In the front, the car is very agile, nimble. In general, we are using kind of a shark nose, but I have added a Y shape that is an air curtain, so actually it's a technical functionality, so there's air going through, improving the aerodynamic, but in the same moment it is giving a lot of character to the Huracan.
4 things to note at the back of this vehicle. First of all, glass panel, so you can see this beautiful V10 engine. The downforce has been increased by 35%. These exhausts, absolutely huge, so you can see almost it's a fire-breathing dragon. No, there's not fire coming out of them, but you almost feel like there should be, and that helps contribute to this beautiful Lamborghini sound. And of course, there is that hexagonal shape throughout the back of this vehicle. Finally, Lamborghini have created the perfect vehicle for my stable.
And I'm joined by Nick Miles, Mike Caudill, to wrap up the show here Hey, Mike, lots of new EVs here. I know you got a chance to look at the Leaf especially.
For 2023, it's going to get an all-new exterior design with it. Consumers are wondering, can I afford an electric vehicle? And at a starting price of right around $28,000, there are still a few tax credit rebates you can get from the federal government. They'll take it down to about $20,500. But the best part is, guys, right below us, we have an EV test track. And Nick, I had a chance to go down and see 7 different OEM vehicles that consumers can drive.
The best part about all the electric test tracks is we weren't able to do this with gas cars on the inside the building, so it doesn't matter if it rains or snows.
All right, now Lincoln did something I thought was kind of fun. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. They brought in the 1956 Lincoln Continental Mark II, Elvis's old car.
What would Elvis drive today? It would be a Lincoln Navigator Central Park Edition. They're celebrating 100 years, but guess what? The Navigator is celebrating 25 years. It was launched in 1998. It's so plush. This Central Park Edition, they call it evergreen leather. You're just wrapped and encased in this beautiful experience. I think what they're doing at Lincoln right now, year over year, continues to just get better and better and better.
They're not alone in that segment now. They have a lot more competition. It's coming from Jeep, actually, right?
Yeah, Jeep now come up with the 3rd American luxury brand, of course, Wagoneer. It's sort of Nashville meets Hollywood. And by the way, Wagoneer has taken 3% of that American luxury market. I like to see that because a new brand needs that market share. And if the Wagoneer wasn't big enough as it was, it's now come up with an extended version, which is now 12 inches longer.
You know, Grand Wagoneer is great. It's a huge, beautiful SUV, but it wasn't the only 3-row brought here. Hyundai also had the Palisade. Very impressed with the Palisade. That product has so much design qualities in it that you don't expect in a car at that level. I told Olabisi Boyle at Hyundai that I'd be really surprised if Genesis can improve that much on the Palisade because it's such a solid product. Okay, there's more SUVs here. How about the Alfa Romeo Tonale?
The smaller brother to the Stelvio. Going to be a volume plug-in hybrid, even though there's going to be a 2-liter turbo gas coming. It's going to do about 30 miles on electricity. That's not quite finalized yet, coming about early 2023. This is going to be a huge vehicle for them. We've been asking for a smaller, dynamic, very sporty SUV that's going to be a good performance vehicle. They made a commitment to be an all-electric brand in the future. This is kind of the opening path to that for this brand.
Okay, there's a couple more SUVs that I got to have this guy talk about because I know he's the hardcore outdoor enthusiast for sure. How about the Nissan Rock Creek?
What they've done with Pathfinder, one of their best nameplates of all time, they've given it 7.7 inches of clearance to get you over rocks so you can actually start taking it off-road. They're giving you only an option of 4-wheel drive. The interior completely customized with all Rock Creek theme on the inside. So as you sit there and you look at it, you go, wow, they're doing something a little bit different on a nameplate that's been around forever.
Nick, I know you had a chance to take a look at the Subaru Outback, right?
Yeah, the Outback gets a refresh for 2023, and of course it gets a new front and it gets a new eyesight system. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that comes into helping you not use your cell phone in the vehicle. And I noticed because of the Traveler's Insurance Risk Index, which takes into account that 20% more people were killed and injured because of COVID, it was interesting to look at that Traveler's Index and find that we're not turning our phones off. People have the systems in the car, they need to actually utilize them with those, and that's one of the things that the Outback has in it. And all cars, by the way, which have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in them, we just need to use them more effectively and save lives. 20% up, that's not a good thing. We have the tools, let's use them.
All right, earlier today, I got a peek of you around the Bronco Raptor.
Yes.
And I was looking for you to clean up the slop you left behind from your mouth.
That is correct.
Right, so tell me about this product.
So I've spent a lot of time with the Bronco brand since the inception of this vehicle. This Bronco Raptor, they're not only making it amazing from the standpoint of performance, you've got upgraded Fox suspension, 37-inch tires that are custom, beadlock wheels. If you want to go off-roading in the Anza Borrego Desert, Moab, Utah, you want to do it, you get it all with this Bronco Raptor. And I'll close it out with this. When you look at it and you think of the Ford F-150 Raptor, you see it in the design of the Bronco Raptor. Hats off to Ford, great vehicle.
Well, congratulations to them. It's a great product. Guys, that's all the time we have. For Nick Miles, Mike Caudill, I'm Tor Dietrich. And for the crew here in New York, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the road.